We're live. Hi, everybody. I'm coming back at you for episode 3 of Tea Time with Andrea. Oh my God, is it tea time or talk tea time? I can't remember what it is anymore. It's Thursday. I should really do these things on Tuesday because by Wednesday, my brain just goes, yeah, whatever. Wait for the weekend. So here are my 2 new guests this week. I have Angela Fennelow of SunLife Financial, and I have Shari Engel of Loft Consulting. And I'm just going to make us big here so we can all be together at the same. There we go. This is the way I like it.
Perfect.
So that everybody can see everybody. Oh, Shari. Okay, so Shari does have a last name, but today she's just Shari.
Sorry.
She doesn't want us to know where she is, so she's going.
I thought this was today. Informal. More personal. So.
Oh, we have Diane Holloway. So Diane, hi Diane. Diane is like my Aunt Diane. She's known me since I've been about 5 or 6 years of age. So I'm just going to get this out of the way real quick because Diane's on. Diane, again, the only 2-minute thing you can do for your hair is you got to wear a hat or you got to wear a wig. I'm getting that out there now because you asked last week and I'm not going to do it again this week. So it's just a wig or, a hat. That's the options I can give you. Now she's going to respond because she's cracking me up.
Or ponytail?
She has really short hair.
Oh, okay.
So she wants to know what to do with it. So LOL, she says, yes. All right. There we go. So, what I'm going to do is give you ladies a few minutes to talk a little bit about, who you are and what you do and how we met. Like, what is our connection with us? And then we're just going to jump into if questions come through from people, or I've got some couple of questions, put you in the hot seat, and then we'll just see where this goes. This little show was just designed for everybody to have connection and to have fun together and to, break up the monotony and all the stuff that's going on right now. And I don't want it to be too heavy. I just want it to be light and fun. So I'm going to go with Angela first because she signed on first. So Angela, you have the floor.
There's benefits to arriving at the party first.
There is.
So thank you so much, Andrea, for having me here. My name is Angela Fennelow, of course, and I am a certified financial planner, and I've worked as an advisor with SunLife for over 18 years. And I'm also a mom and a wife, and I live in Milton. And we all live in Milton. My kids live with me too because they're still little. So I have,
nobody's ever said that before. That's a really good. So I live here, and where does your children live? That's really good.
Yeah, they live here too with me and my husband. I have twin boys who are 7, and I have 5. So having the time of their lives, but they're also bored. So it's really interesting now to be able to spend so much time with them and watch how they're adapting and they're doing incredibly well. So what else about, where I met you. So Andrea and I, the first time we met was at a Megamind meeting. It was a training session that we met at. I think that was the very first time we met. And then we've continued to meet and interact online. So that's how we met.
So when at that first meeting that we had, it's a business training session, and we had to sort of work with each other in pairs, and she had to give me some advice from her business, and I had to give her some advice from my business. And when I first started with that group, I was talking about hair and makeup and stuff like that, and how to use it for confidence and to improve your presence in the business world. And it's not a vanity item for women. And so I gave her some tips about clothing and stuff and earrings and things. And she kind of looked at me first like, huh? What? Huh? What? I was like, I didn't quite understand what she did. And I didn't quite understand what she was talking about. I thought she was like an executive and a manager and hiring people. And I couldn't quite understand where she was coming from. But then that's what I sort of told her. And then we saw some really beautiful photos that you had done of a photo session. And I was like, yeah, there's the color. That's what I was talking about. You did it right. There you go. So. Okay, I'm going to play with my lights here while we listen to Shari. And Shari's going to tell us the same thing, who you are, your business is, and how I met you.
Okay, so hi, I'm Shari Engel. I am the president of Loft Consulting, which is an HR strategy consulting firm. I started that company just about a year and a half ago. So I still consider myself a newbie to this entrepreneur world. And Andrea and I actually met through Busy Women as well. She was in one of my my first mastermind group. I've joined 2, and now she's in my second. So very fortunate to get.
I'm stalking you.
Exactly. I was.
She keeps trying to run away, and I keep following her.
But I'm happy that we're back in the same group, because I feel like sometimes we might poke a little. Andrea and I have a similar personality in that regard. So.
Oh, that's okay. Poke away. I got a lot of love handles around that can take all the action, so I'm all good with the poking. Not to worry about that.
Yeah.
I was going to be a little crude there, but I'm just going to say it's more to love, shall we say?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess just to get this rolling. Oh yeah, the air conditioning. Do you not find that sometimes the air conditioning in your house, like certain rooms are just going to be like hot and certain rooms are just going to be cold? Like so I have this pink fuzzy blanket underneath the desk on my feet to block out the air vent right now. This is all the things you do when you're like doing a show from home. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to pick a couple of questions. I'm just going to go down and just see what the answers are and see where we go, because what this is designed to do, this show, is to introduce people to you, who you are as a person, because we can't do a lot of this stuff in person anymore. Hi, Lavinia. Lavinia De Silva's here as well. She was on last week, so thanks for joining in. And she knows these ladies as well, because this is what we're all missing. We're all missing the touch. We're all missing to get to know you. And we're doing the best we can online, but sometimes people read things the wrong way and they don't understand your voice or your humor or, your personality. So that's what this is to showcase. Alrighty, so let's just see. Alrighty, let's talk to Angela. And you're prepared because you got your questions the other day. So
I'll look bad if I'm not prepared, Andrea. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
What personality trait has gotten you into the most trouble? This is a good question. Funny. I like this one.
From my perspective, it's one thing. From others' perspective, it might be something different. But I think that sometimes being so outspoken and not having that filter has gotten me into trouble. I think as I've matured, I've gotten a stronger filter, but certainly, especially in my younger days, I would say things pretty blatantly without any regard for how that might impact somebody else. And it's funny because I see that in my kids now. So maybe that's why it's kind of coming out and showing.
Okay, I actually have a question from Diane for Angela. So I'm going to put that out there now while it popped up. Yeah. She's 71 and she wants to change to an RIIF. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Is that a product? And is there a management fee? So I'm going to let you answer your question because that's what this is all about.
Yeah, so that's a good question. And generally speaking, if the registered retirement income fund is in an investment, there is going to be some kind of fee. Depending on what type of investment, the fee will vary.
Okay, did that help, Diane? You got to type back and let me know if that made sense to you or not.
I hope that
We'll I can't beat her because I don't know where she lives yet. She's in my town, but I don't know exactly where she lives, so I can't go over and hit her for you. But we'll see if we can get her to clarify if that doesn't make any sense. I can stalk you like I stalk Shari.
Exactly.
Okay, so Shari, let's see. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
It's funny. This is a question we talk about a lot with my family. So I have thought a lot about this, and it would be the ability to teleport. Just show up somewhere and, get around the world really quickly and not have to worry about flying. And that would be my one superpower.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So you're the Star Trek fan, the being here and beam me up. That's kind of sort of what you're into.
Well, I am not a Star Trek fan, but I am a fan of teleporting. Okay, I'll try that.
Does anybody know what that means? Where it's from?
No.
That's from Spock. You know what it means? It's Vulcan for live long and prosper.
There you go.
Weird things you didn't know about me.
I want to know your superpower.
My superpower?
What would it be?
My superpower. Good question. Teleport is good, but I don't think I would take that. For superpower, I think, I'd like to be tall. Seriously? I'm like 4'11" and a half, and my whole entire life, everything has been too tall and out of reach, and clothes don't fit, and I don't sit in the car properly. And I mean, if I was just 5 inches taller, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a whole lifetime of things opening up for me. I mean, from the time I've been about 16. So I would just like to have height as my superpower.
Hey, did you say 4'11"?
4'11" and a half. You got to get
You're
that in there.
kidding. I wouldn't have thought that.
That's because my mouth is so large. It makes up for the height. So I have a theory. If you're really tiny, nobody can see me. So if I'm loud, Alicia, where is that coming from? Oh, it's over there. So yeah. So I'm only allowed to make short jokes. Nobody else is allowed to make short jokes.
Well, I am too. I'm a short person, and I have a short family. So I know your pain. And even when you go to concerts and stuff, I'm like, I'm sick of smelling people's underarms. Like, there's a lot of problems with
you know, when you're hugging women at all these events and you go to hug somebody and there's like a boob right here and you're like, I'm so sorry. I'm just really so sorry.
I know.
Let's just fist bump, shall we?
Yeah.
Like, that's just not the way to go. Yeah, Lavinia's killing herself laughing. Hi, Faria. Faria's here as well, too. What else I was going to say about, you said about the short thing? So many things, but yeah, I mean, I've been called Pee-wee this and Pee-wee that and short jokes all the time. And I don't mind being short. Like, I really don't. I don't think I'm short. I just don't want to go to do things. And especially with clothing, like nothing fits.
Yes.
And I'm just so fed up with, I guess as I'm getting older, I just don't have the patience to deal with it. And it's just, I just really wish I had those couple of extra inches that just made life easier. That's what I would do. So that would be my superpower, being tall, which is a really sucky one, but that's what it is.
Get a tailor, Andrea. I'm telling you, a seamstress to alter your life changing, because nothing ever fits me either. But having a tailor, oh my God.
You got to send me somebody, because I've had a couple and then I move around or they stop doing it then I lose them. So yeah, you got to send me whoever that is, because
I don't know anyone. Maybe I don't know anyone here.
We thought you had a recommendation.
So sell me on the concept, but don't follow. Okay.
Maybe there is somebody, a seamstress around that, would be able to help.
Jody says, and your hair is big. Whose hair is big, Jody? I don't know whose hair is big. Is it Sherry's? Sherry's got great hair.
My hair is big. Well, not right now. This is cold hair. I'm trying to pretend that all the grays are not coming in, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I had my daughter streak my hair a couple of weeks ago to kind of cover up the dark roots, but
that's good.
She took hairdressing aesthetics when she was in high school, and then my mother-in-law used to be a hairdresser, so I dabbled in some stuff earlier on. So we just kind of worked it out, and we did a little test at the back because I thought if it was going to be messy, then nobody would see it. But no, she did a good job. She was stressed and neurotic for like 3 days afterwards, but she did a good job, so it was all right.
That's funny.
But so Diane says, for Angela, what would be the best RRIF? Did I say that?
So that's a good question, but I can't really answer that in this type of forum because there's a lot of background questions I need to ask to understand who you are, what your investor profile is, and what type of risk you're willing to take. But a good question. So, and there are tools out there as well that you can use. There's some online tools to help you understand what your investor profile is. But I definitely, for that type of question, I do recommend working directly with an advisor to give you a more tailored and specific answer to that question.
So here's a question for you. I know that you are in the Milton area, Angela, and I know that Diane lives in the Brampton area. And then in the winter, she's a snowbird. She goes down to Florida. So would she be able to have you help her, or is this like a district thing where she has to find somebody where she lives?
So you know what, Andrea, that's a good question. And I think now with what's happening, I have no problem helping people anywhere in Ontario because everything right now is being done on Zoom. So I'm happy to set up a Zoom call with anyone. We do have licensing restrictions, meaning that I can, for myself, I'm licensed in Ontario. So anywhere in Ontario, it becomes a problem out of province. But yeah, no, that's, certainly help.
Okay, well then what I'll do is, Diane, you message me privately. And if you want Angela's information, I will connect the two of you together and we'll do this all privately over Messenger, or you send me an email. And then that way you can get all your questions answered, one-on-one, and you can stalk Angela then. Hi, Sabrina. Sabrina Morgan's here too. So good. Okay, let's ask another question then. Let me just see here. All right. So, okay, I asked this one in my first episode and it was hysterical. So I'm going to, because my answer was really good. But no, I'd like to see what you say.
Yeah.
So if you had to be shipwrecked on a deserted island. And all of your, so you know what I'm going to say. All of your human needs, such as food and water, were taken care of. So all of your human needs. food and water. I can think of a few more that would probably fit under that category. But again, this is a G-rated show.
Exactly.
What 2 items would you have with you? And I'm going to ask Shari first.
Okay, so the number one thing for me is sunscreen.
Okay.
It's not overly, but seriously, I need it. I went out for a 15-minute walk today and I'm already red. So sunscreen is my number one. And then I wanted to ask you to clarify, and this is a hokey, this is like the everything. Would family count or no?
Items, 2 items.
Items, okay.
I didn't make the questions. I just copied them off the internet and I put them off.
Okay, but you're putting rules.
You're
You're
not
putting
mine.
hard rules for me
Not
then.
mine.
I think I would have to take a book.
A book. So sunscreen and a book. So when you mention sunscreen, I'm going to ask, is your background like from Britain or?
Probably.
Okay. So so am I. My background's Irish. And when I used to work at Cantel years ago in my 20s, same thing. I don't tan at all. Like I burn and it takes forever to get some kind of tan on there. And so all the girls there, all the really cool, Black girls there who had everything going on. My name was Pasty Girl, and that's what I was called all the time, was Pasty Girl. And I was like, and they said it with love, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll be Pasty Girl as long as it's not a derogatory thing. So now my new nickname for you is going to be Pasty Girl, because you're sunscreen girl.
Yeah. I know I'll come back from vacation and people are like, oh, did you go away? Yeah. So when I look so dark, and they're like, no.
Did you leave the room? Like, did you participate? Yeah. Like, what did you do?
I'm a freak about sunscreen too. And my kids, they hate it because I'm a freak with them about it. So
you're that crazy mother that's chasing them down the beach going, stop.
Minutes.
Okay, so we all know that. All right, so let me see one for Angela. I'll ask you the same one. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, and Brenda's here as well. Hi, Brenda. And Priya's here. So I'm just saying, shout out to everybody who's watching. There you go.
Hello.
Hi, everyone who's watching. Thanks for being here. That's awesome. So mine, this was like I didn't even need to think about it. My answer was rum and music. I just didn't even think.
Music and what else?
Rum.
Oh, rum. Oh, I'm going to Angela's Island.
I took that as my food and drink. That came automatic. Is that not a basic human need?
That's true. Oh, okay, so I take that back. So okay. And Shari's Island is not boring anymore, but Angela, that's what's else. Because food and water was already taken care of. So you got books. How about the cups to put the rum into? Maybe that might work because I don't know how that's getting that to you. Oh,
no,
Allison's
right out of the bottle.
A spigot. You get the hat where you put them in there and they just have the tubes in.
There you go.
And then as you're running down the beach trying to spray your kids with sunscreen, you could be getting drunk at the same time.
That's right.
And then who cares if you didn't get tan on your vacation because you had a good time doing it, right?
That's right.
Allison,
so yours was that music, Angela?
Music and what else?
Music.
What kind of music?
Any kind. I think a variety, as long as I could listen to music and have my drinks. And because I love reading too. When you said book, I was like, yeah, book, but only one book. I'd get bored real quick.
I know, me too. Yeah, I know. I debated that myself.
Okay, so
see, we put a lot of thought into these questions, Andrea. So you better ask them all.
Right? Yeah. So in order to get music, you probably would need a radio, and you probably would need batteries.
Yes.
So I think for music.
She's coming with a solar radio.
I was going to say. That's what I'm bringing. Well, I said a couple weeks ago that if I was shipped on an island, I'd want a boat to get off the island. So, but I mean, if I'm going to be stuck with you. Sorry?
Aren't you clever?
Well, I'm thinking of Castaway. Like that poor guy was stuck for 4 years and all he ever wanted was a flipping boat. I mean, every time he saw was a boat. I mean, between the skates and between the cardboard boxes, all he wanted to do was get home. I'm like,
but we should have all picked a volleyball because really we knew that was his survival mechanism, right? So scratch that volleyball. All we need, we're good.
Well, what I found interesting was that both of you ladies who talked about your children, at one point did you never talk about going back home to visit your children? You wanted the book and you wanted the rum. And
our kids are still young. This is the thing.
Any time away. Yeah, mine are a little older and I want them to come home more often. So. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll just do a little serious bit right now. So I want to know, Angela, of all the things you could have done in the world, why did you pick financial planning? Like, why did you go there?
Wow.
Or was it something just happened, or was it an actual, planned strategy? Why did you pick that?
You know what? A number of things happened in my life, very close together, that catalyzed me entering the business. And so I joined the business back in 2002 in the very beginning. And I'd thought about it a little bit before that. But what happened was I just graduated from university. And I was very, very motivated and ambitious. And I wanted to make a change in the world, and I wanted to make money, and I wanted to do a lot. And I was offered a job in a different city, and I left, and I went out there, and I
So where did you go from where to where?
So I was living after university. I moved home with my parents for the summer, and I worked at Ontario Place. I don't know if y'all remember Ontario Place.
Oh, I loved Ontario Place. Loved it.
That was great.
Saw some really great concerts there. Sitting on the grass, just like that was the way to do it. That was the way to do it.
Yeah, it's good memories, I tell you. And after that summer, I took a job out in Kingston, and in Kingston, I learned in that job that I did not like being an employee in that environment. I learned
that's really important to learn. Like, you learned that really early on. Like, a lot of us kind of get here through the channels. We just kind of fall into something and then just keep going at it. And then a life change hits and you go, oh, wait a minute. Or else menopause kicks in, one or the other. And you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, So you're lucky that you came across that really early.
Yeah. And I think, as I was packing up to leave and come back home, because that job didn't work out for a number of reasons, I got a phone call from somebody from Clarica at the time. And I said, you know what, I would love to come in and interview, but I'm leaving tomorrow. Like, my phone was literally about to get unhooked. That's back in the old days when we all had a landline.
Yes. I used to work for Bill Canada, so I understand that. Yes.
My dad did too. And so anyway, so he introduced me to someone. We interviewed, we met, and I think I kind of joke around and I say, I had a bit of a thread of, we call it in the business, we call it thread of discontent. So when you're recruiting, because I have been a recruiter in the past, we talk about how do you talk to people about their discontent and show them how they can come into a business to alleviate that discontent. So I had discontent, but I also had a little bit of, I would say, I felt a little bit desperate. Like, I really needed a job. I was living with my parents and I needed money and I wanted a car and all this great stuff. And this opportunity just seemed great. It seemed like I could make money. And so since then, it became a lot more deliberate. Once I got into it, I realized what I was actually doing. It became much more deliberate. I did study to get my designation. And so I would say at the time.
So you found your calling. You found where you fit early on.
I did.
That's why you stuck it with it for so long. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. So a lot of us don't get there. We take a long time to get there. It's do a lot of other things before we hit that curve. Okay, let's do something fun, and then we'll go back and we'll hit Shari up. So, okay. So Shari, what's your favorite word?
Oh,
if you have one. And you know what? This is my show, so you can say whatever you
okay,
like.
well, I will bleep it, but I actually was laughing when I read this question because I'm like, I have to be honest. It's the F word. Like, I say it too much. And my kids call me out on it all the time. My son thinks it gives him permission. I said, no. I earned the right to say this. You've got to be old to be able to say this. So I have to edit myself because I say it too much. My husband actually said, how do you do business calls without swearing? Because
you're right. Because when I'm at home, actually, 20 minutes, half an hour before this show started, I was having a bit of a meltdown with the hair because I'm tired of COVID hair. And I have these crazy cowlicks and it sits in my eye and then it got stuck in my eyelashes. Anyway, it was just not good. And I was hungry and I was stressed out and it was hot and sweaty. So, and it was just F this and F this. And you should see my bathroom. My bathroom sink has got the hair dryer. It's got makeup in there. It's got the hairspray in there. It's got all the brushes. It's just like this. And I'm going to walk in there and think somebody had a seizure in my bedroom because it's just like, when I go like, meltdown, it's like everywhere. So, yeah, and that F-bomb comes out all the time. But I did read a study a long time ago that said if you swear, you're actually really intelligent.
I know. I think that that's something that us potty mouths just like to say because
Yes,
we want.
yes, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Exactly. I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm sorry. I have a high level of intelligence. What can I do?
So it's not my fault you can't keep up.
We need those beep signs then. If all of us are swearers, you need to beep us.
So my mother is from Ireland, Northern Ireland, and she said when I was growing up, she never said the F word. Like I never heard it come out of her mouth till I was about 21, and I was like, I didn't even know she knew what it was. Like, I mean, I heard shit all the time, but I never heard that. And I was like, whoa. So she said when she was growing up in Ireland that there was the big F, which was that one, and then there was like a little F, and the little F is the word feck. And you can say that feck, F-E-C-K.
Oh, feck.
So
Okay.
feck. So it's fecking this and fecking that. And I was like, Ma, that's like really bad to say. She's like, no, you can say it. That's the little F. The big F, you save that for the big special occasions. So it was fecking this and fecking this. And it's like, oh, I don't like those shoes. Those are fecky looking. And I'm like, yeah, that's not all the time that'll work. Like it kind of throws you for a bit, but it's technically not swearing. So that's what we did in our house. We have the little F is what we said all the time.
That's funny.
Okay.
My little F would be fart. Like I'd be like, oh, fart. Like, you know.
That's actually a word I don't really like for some reason. And I don't know why. It's really abrupt. It's really abrupt. It's like a hard sounding word, right?
It's describing something that's rather.
Well, no, you know how but when it actually is that, we say tootster. Did you tootster?
Okay, so there's a good word. So, we all have kids and we've all had little things. So what is a word that you used for, like, I'm not going to get into body parts, but what is it like you said the word tootster, and I'm like, I would never say that, but that's what you've done with your family. Do you have any kind of cutesy little word that you've done with your kids, Angela, like to describe something that's should have been a more graphic word or a, uncomfortable word, and you've used something else in between?
I think we did use toot instead of fart for a long time, and then I realized I couldn't control it, so I let it go because everybody else says fart, but I did try to say toot, but everything else I just use the real words usually. I'm trying to think now. I'm like, this is not on the list of questions, so I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm going rogue here.
Well, I do have a story about that though. When I first had my daughter, and I was at the health, the nurse, public health session. Yeah. And so we went, and one of the first sessions, she's like, okay, how do you describe the body parts? And everybody's coming up with these cute little words like, oh, wee-wee, and we're having fun with it. We're thinking, oh yeah, this is fun. This is a fun little exercise. I don't know. And then she corrected us, and she's like, very technical terms. No, you use only technical terms, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's the vibe of this group. I can't fit very well in here. But it was just crazy.
These are not my kind of people.
Yeah.
My kind of people. Yeah. All right. So Shari, why did you get into what you're doing for a living? You're an HR consultant. Yeah. How did that happen? Did you do the same thing? Did you plan it, or was it just kind of a series of falling into something?
No,
and then you kind of went,
I kind of planned it, and I didn't. So it was early on. I've always been in HR, and so I graduated with a sociology degree. And I mean, really, I literally was like, what do you do with a sociology degree? And so I went to the library and found a book titled, What Do You Do with a Sociology
No
Degree?
way.
Yeah, I swear. And I mean, it was probably this thick. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. There was like 3 things you can do with your sociology degree. But one of them was HR. And I really had no idea about business or anything. So I researched it, and then I ended up applying to like the post-grad program for HR. And I never looked back. And I do love it. It's a great fit for me. So I'm glad it happened, but it's not like I planned. I went into university thinking I was going to be a speech pathologist of all things. So very strange change of events. and I'd be a terrible speech pathologist.
That's
so.
good.
Yeah.
I can't believe there was a book that was actually said what you were trying to do. That's really good.
Yeah. Thank God there was. I don't know what I'd do if there wasn't.
Well, my son is taking earth sciences because he's debating between geology or paleontology, but he's also taking some sociology courses. Something didn't jive with his schedule first year, so he had to drop something else and take up sociology. And he's like, he's just loving it, and he's just, I'm like, that's quite the worlds apart from being a paleontologist to being a sociologist. Like, you're dealing with dead dinosaur bones and then people. I mean, I don't understand how that all mixes together, but he just finds it quite fascinating.
Yeah,
he just thinks it's great. But
I love sociology.
I don't think he's going to be doing that. He can only people for so long, and then it's like, people get on his nerves. He's got enough people. Like
I have no idea what that's like.
Both my kids are like, I'm done peopling for the day. Like, I just can't. They come home and they just hunker in their rooms and they just need their time. Like, knock on the door. Are you okay? Hand them a snack. I'm good. I'm not angry. I'm not, I just don't want to be on right now. I just need some downtime and just by myself. I taught my kids that years ago when they were small, I'm like, it's not my responsibility to be your plaything and to entertain you all day long.
Yes,
you have to learn how to spend time by yourself. You're going to go out in that world. You're going to wait in line for everything. You're going to have to be by yourself when you go to bed. You're going to have to move to new cities and be alone. Go to school. All these things are going to happen to you. And if you can't enjoy your own company and you can't get through a whole weekend without having to go to a party or a show or a concert or whatever, and there's nobody around, you're going to have a really hard time in life, because there's a lot of times where you're by yourself, not by choice either. And you got to figure out what to do to fill in that time. So, it's not my responsibility to do that for you. You have to figure that out on your own. And so now I did it too well, because now they like too much alone time and they don't want to come home and hang out with me anymore. But I'm like, you got it, because I'm still your mom, right?
Exactly.
I'm not ready for this. So anyways.
Okay, I have to comment on that, because actually I have two. My daughter is very good at it. My son is not. But I have found I have grown to be okay with my own. I never used to be. And now I almost crave it at the end of the day too. And that's one of the challenges that I'm finding most with this whole COVID world, is we're surrounded all the time and the kids are all here. And so I'm trying to figure out ways that I can actually be by myself at the end of the day, or, like I'll go for a bath, or I'll, mommy's going outside for a minute, or, whatever it is, but it's something I've been craving.
So I know that most of you know me, because when I first started here, it was all about, I wear makeup. I like it. It was my living for many years. I took training and stuff in it. But really and truly, when my kids were small and I was home by myself, and my husband was working 6 days a week and he was going to school at nights, I was pretty much a single parent for a lot of early years. And being in the bathroom and closing the door for 45 minutes to an hour to have my shower, to do my hair, to do my makeup, that is my time. Yeah. And I have never deviated from that. And maybe that's why this alone time and having a bath and closing the door at night when the kids are asleep and stuff, like I've never wanted that, because I've always had my alone time in the bathroom. Like when my kids were small, unless you're bleeding or the house is on fire, don't knock on the door. I'm not answering it. That's what I did. And so as Jody says, the kids follow you everywhere. Yeah, like you can't even pee by yourself until they're 6. Seriously, they're right in there. They're like mommy, and you're like, I'm going to the washroom. I don't do this in front of your father. Why are you in the room? You know what I mean? So
I don't do it to them. I knock before I go in, and it's like, why do you think it's okay just to barge right into my room? This is bizarre.
Yeah. So I take that time, that getting ready time, whenever I decide to get ready, whatever time of day it is, and whatever function I'm doing. I don't care if it's a no makeup day and there's nothing on. When I go into the bathroom, you leave me alone. I am not available. Find somebody else. I am not available. That is my me time every day. It can be half an hour to an hour, and that's what I do. And I've done that since before my kids were born, and I still do it now to this day. Like my husband knows, oh, mom's getting ready. He doesn't even come in the room to get clothes after he works out until he asks. I was getting sick. He's like, can I come in and get some clothes? I'll shower in the other bathroom, but I really would like to get changed. Okay, you got 2 minutes. Grab your clothes and get out. Like, you can't even be in the old bedroom. This is my space while I'm getting ready.
Yeah, it's
my
good.
time.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we all need it. We're on 24/7. We all need our time. So that's my 2 cents. All right.
Totally.
We're totally off topic here. Okay. Let's
That's
see.
great. I feel very lucky because right now my kids are obsessed with their father. So they like never bother me. Maybe once in a while they'll come knock on the door. But like at 4 o'clock in the morning, my daughter will come up and she'll go over to my husband's side of the bed and she'll be like, Daddy. Like, I'm like, you have to answer. She called you.
That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing I ever did was when my kids were small. Now, I thought I was going to be the corporate girl. I was on the corporate track. I was by myself till I was 27. Didn't think I was going to get married. Freaked my mother out. Told her when I was 30. I said, if I get to be 35 and I'm alone, I'm being artificially inseminated. I want to be a mother. So finally met somebody, got married. It all worked out. And I was a stay-at-home mom, which I had never thought that was going to happen. I was the corporate track. That's where I was going. And so when I was a stay-at-home mom, you talked about your father doing everything. Okay, so I did everything with the kids, and my husband worked, and that was great. And then I went and got a part-time job because my husband was good, but he would kind of wait for me to tell him what he had to do or kind of step in and help with the kids. I mean, he was very hands-on as much as I asked him to be, but he didn't really know. So when I got this part-time job, which was great, it was on Saturdays, working at a paint store, and he had to be full-time dad doing everything. And like the first couple times I'd come home and like my daughter's got ponytails out here and like one here and the clothes are all mismatched and there's no dinner on the table when I got home. The laundry didn't get finished. And I was like, hey, I'm home all day with two. I'm washed. I'm dressed. House is standing. Food, laundry. You got to step up your game here. So the one day he finally decided to cook dinner and he picked me up and brought me home. Our carpet was all wet. And I'm like, why is the carpet wet? So our kitchen was next to our living room, and I couldn't figure out why it was all wet. So he decided to do the dishes while he put my daughter to sleep and went to hang out with my son to read him a book to get him to go for a nap. And my husband fell asleep. And the sink overflooded all into the kitchen and all into the living room. And my son was about 5 or 6, and he was the one that came out and alerted his sleeping father. There's water in the living room, and it's all squishy in my feet. So then after that whole fiasco, dinner was burnt. The floor was soaking. Kids were all, and I said, okay, I have to adjust my boundaries because obviously my husband can't get there yet. I've had some time to work up to this. So then it was like, okay, new rules. Kids are alive. House is not on fire. I will accept whatever you want to feed me. I am good. Good. But that whole experience really stepped up his game on being a more involved partner, not necessarily father, because he was always a good father, but just a partner, like sharing of everything and how it all worked, that they no longer had to walk past me in the living room, or walk past their dad saying, mommy, mommy, mommy. And I'm like, your father's sitting right here and he's perfectly qualified. I mean, he can answer a question. So that really leveled the playing field where you become an actual partnership and that they both know that mom and dad have the same kind of power. That was really, really super important when that happened. And I had a clean carpet to boot, which was not too bad either. So
I think that's so important, Andrea. I'm so glad you brought that up because I think as entrepreneurs, all three of us are entrepreneurs, to have an equal partner makes all the difference. It allows us to be able to do the job. So that's, I love that story. I think that's great. And I'm glad you shared that.
None of us could do what we're doing if we didn't have somebody in the background helping us. What was the old thing? Behind every successful man is a successful woman. Well, behind every successful woman happens to be a successful man. It's got to go both ways nowadays.
Except the way I always thought it was, behind every successful man is a surprised woman.
See, this is why I'm stalking you, Shari, and I follow you everywhere you go. You are never getting rid of me now. We are a done deal, babe. We are it. You realize one of these days when we finally get to have our meetings in person, Karen's going to separate you and I to the opposite.
We're not allowed to sit together.
All righty. Okay.
Gosh.
Let's see. What do you have in the trunk of your car right now, Angela?
Oh my gosh.
No pressure.
It's good. It's something real good. Are you going to make a confession?
No,
sorry.
No. It's funny because so the car I normally drive, we actually parked it in the garage because I'm not driving anywhere. So car. So I thought of the minivan, which is the one that we've kept on the road like twice a week. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so there's grocery bags, a first aid kit, and like those jumper cable things.
Wow, you're very practical and prepared.
My
Grown
husband
up.
is the first
Grown up.
responders. It's not me that's prepared, it's
Oh,
him.
Wow.
okay. All right. Okay,
Don't take
so
credit. I'll take credit though.
Okay.
All me.
it's all me.
Yeah.
It's all me. It's all me. He's not in the room, so I'll let you have it. There you go. All right. So,
I
Shari,
need some rum.
so you're not really working. You just lock the door and you're inside sucking that rum while you're sitting in front of the window going, yeah, mommy's busy. Mommy's busy.
Yeah.
Mommy's busy. I'll be here in a second. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's my daddy? Daddy's it. Daddy. Yeah, my daddy. All right. So Shari, coffee or tea?
Oh, so actually neither. I'm a latte girl. So, I mean, I guess that's technically
Latte's coffee, is it not?
Yeah, it's espresso, but yeah.
Let's go.
I don't like coffee.
I'm
But
pretty
I like
sure that's
lattes.
coffee.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coffee.
It comes from the bean, right?
It's an espresso bean, though.
But it's a bean. It's coffee.
Okay, all right.
It's not fruit juice. I mean, it comes from the coffee bean.
It's not the seed of an orange.
No.
Oh, yeah, I've been foiled this whole time. All right, then, coffee.
Okay, I am laughing and I'm crying, and my mascara is going to run everywhere. You should have warned me. I should have worn us waterproof stuff
Yeah,
today. This is good. Okay, we have, I don't know how many people are watching. Could be 5, could be 9. I don't know how to read this screen properly. And we got 4 people with big happy faces, so I guess we're doing okay. Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so let's see.
So, you know what? I have to just say, while you're picking a question, so as I answered the questions, I had like a theme that went throughout and like was intended to sort of be comical in order, and you're not asking the questions in order. So
It's my show, but I'm doing it wrong.
I'm being like,
So it was really nice having Angela Fennelow on the show today, folks. We're going to say goodbye to her now.
and I was so excited to share my jokes. And yeah,
Well, go ahead. All right. I will give me a joke. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it won't work because it was the questions. So the one that's kind of the funniest, the one that's like time linked was, you know, what profession other than what you do would you like to attempt?
Go
I
ahead.
said, ballet dancer. And then it said, if you could learn any one skill in the world, what would it be? And I said, ballet dancer.
That is good. That is good.
I'm
Okay.
funny. I just needed that self.
What would your special skill? What is it? If you have a superpower, what would it be? Is it ballet?
Oh, no, yes.
Okay.
Point. I want to learn point.
It was whatever that Jean from X-Men has, where she can make people do things telepathically.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is a good one.
You never have to wash the dishes. You never have to do the laundry.
Mm.
Never have to. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change mine from tall to that one. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's a good one.
That's
That's
being
a
done
really good
with
one.
purpose. You know, with a plan. That's
Oh,
good. Okay,
I'm
so
sorry for interrupting the program. I'll be quiet now.
this is what this is supposed to be. This is okay. So, what can you teach me in 5 minutes, Shari? Can you teach me
I
something?
didn't prepare for this one. I have no idea.
Okay, scrap it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't teach anything in 5 minutes.
What is there something about you that I don't know about? Something interesting about you that I don't know about? Some hidden talent, hidden thing that you can do that nobody would really know. That's not,
Not interesting people.
I was hoping you didn't ask this one either, because I find I'm a very boring person. Like, really, I'm just not interesting at all.
I know for
Is
a fact.
gangster rap.
I was going to say, I know for a fact that you were part of a improv group,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the improv people sing and they dance.
Well, Yeah, I can do that. I can do that, but I don't know if that's like a hidden. I don't know. Yeah.
You could be the dancing HR lady. I don't think people would know.
I would have loved to be an actress on stage somehow, but it
Really?
wasn't in my cards. Yeah.
It's still in your cards. There's like little theater. You can do it.
Be. Yeah, maybe I should do that.
And everybody can do this. Like, this is really easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't acting though.
It can be.
It is for Andrea.
It can be. I took acting too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, good. We can do a 2-man show. And Angela, if you want, we'll do 3. It's fine. Like, you know, do we want it? No.
No. There's no pause. Nope. Not at all. Nope.
I did math for that question. Like, I actually had
math?
Well, because my original response was the same. Like, I'm really not that interesting. There's really nothing that interesting about me. So I thought it was different. And I had to do math because I had to figure out that I've lived in 16 different homes in 8 different cities.
So you're welcome. Have they all been in Canada, or have you lived abroad?
All in Canada, mostly Ontario, but also BC.
There you go. So see, you know this country better than a lot of people do because you've done a lot of stuff back and forth. So there's something.
Yeah.
You're a professional packer-upperer.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, ever, knock on wood, ever again. I don't want to move ever again.
16 homes. That's a lot.
That is.
That's a lot.
How
So I
many
guess
have been your homes versus your parents moving? How many times have you been the adult responsible for moving?
Me?
Or Andrea?
Angela.
Oh, out of those 16, like 15.
Are
That's
you
a lot.
serious?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because my parents, I lived in 2 houses from kindergarten, or like from the time I was born till graduating high school. And then after high school, that's when everything started to, I started moving around and
So my family used to joke when I left home when I was 21 and finally moved out that I would move so often that they stopped putting my address in pen in the address books. It was always in pencil because it was so often. But I think you win. I don't think it was 15. It might have been like 7 or 8, but I think you win. That's quite a lot.
It is.
Is there a medal? I would like my medal. Because I need something to hang on my wall.
Oh, that's great.
I think we should get a award. I think we should.
I'm going to work on that. If anybody wants to give Angela an award for moving 15 times and still being here, she would really appreciate one. That'd be great. Alrighty. So, oh my gosh, we're going way off. I'm going to even forget about the questions. I'm just trying to keep on track and I can't even keep up with you guys. Okay. So what other profession other than your own would you like to attempt? Angela's already talked about ballet. So is that going to be your final answer? You'd like to be a ballet dancer? Okay. So then Shari, what would you do if you couldn't do what you're doing?
Probably an actress.
So these are
or a singer. I have to decide between them. I'm not sure. Maybe a musical theater.
So what I find really interesting is both of you ladies are in very corporate minded jobs, right? Suits, Bay Street, money, very linear, logical thinking kind of fields. And both of you chose highly creative, whimsical, fun, free type of jobs to do. So there's something inside you screaming to get out. And I'm going to suggest before you get older than later, that you might want to try to tap into some of that and figure out what you can do with that. Because obviously you're more than just a numbers girl trying to help people with money. And you're more than just a numbers girl trying to help people, find a corporate culture that they like to be in. I mean, so you guys are hiding behind these, and there's some risky behaviors and some fun-loving girls hanging behind them.
Risky. The good news is you're right. We can do that because there's all those adult ballet bar classes and stuff, and there's musical theater classes.
Angela.
We really can let's do it. Let's make a pact and do it. What's your go out of your comfort zone pact here, Andrea? You got to be in this.
Yeah.
This is what I started doing here. Talking to people like this. Talking in front of people. I'm not really good. I think I'm better one-on-one, but I love doing this. I love this whole talking and being on camera thing. Like, this is just, I can't believe how much I enjoy it, and I'm not afraid of it. And I'm not afraid of embarrassing myself, and I don't think I'm doing anything to make myself look worse. I think I'm just being real. I would never in a million years, you asked me to do this 6 months ago, I would have run screaming to the houses. I can't do it.
Even 6 months. That's amazing.
But even to having to jump on and having to do this, you would ask me, would I have my own broadcast show? I mean, what? I get 10 people? That's fine. But I'm going out there in the real world, and this is going anywhere for as long as I want it to go. And I would never have done this in a million years. Never. Yay. So this is doing something else that I never thought I would do. Never thought I would be in front of an audience. So yeah, fist bump, everybody. Yeah. Camera. There we go. All right. So this is going to be the year that we're going to.
I have not had any rum. I have not.
Yet. So Angela lives in my town, so I'm going to now try to figure out where the heck she lives, and I'm going to be knocking on her door. It's going to be rubbing.
Yeah.
Neighbors, I'm sure of it. Like, we must be so close. I'll text
Shari,
you my
can
address.
Come down too. You can come down too. You don't live too far. We're all in the Halton area.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 50 minutes. So we've gone over the 45. If you ladies want to be done, we can be done. If you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to ask me anything, you can ask me anything.
Okay, bye. No.
So I'm going to make a list of who wants to be a repeat person, and I'm just going to write down here that Shari is no longer invited. You're bad news, Shari.
Sorry. At least has her camera on. Like, there's people that come into it, man.
Lavinia says, I know where she lives.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. There have been times though where I have left meetings. I'm like, they're not going to notice I'm gone anyways. Click, leave meeting.
That's hilarious.
Like networking stuff, or like
no, like webinars and stuff like that. Where I'm like, this is not for me. I've got to go.
Yeah. I did one of those the other day, and it was like, I'm on for 20 minutes. I'm going. Why am I here? So yes, I made up an excuse and then said I had to go. And but yeah, I found a lot of those too. Everybody's jumping on and doing the stuff right now, and it's just I don't know. I don't want to sit for 20 minutes, half an hour, or 45 minutes. Seriously, the longest I want to watch anything is 30 minutes. If it's going to be longer than 30 minutes, you got to tell me what's going on, because otherwise that's a big chunk of time. Like even right now, 52 minutes. To me, it's gone by like this.
Yeah.
If I was on the other side, I'd be like, oh my God, just get to the bloody point already, eh? This is so fucking boring. Let's go.
Oh, fart.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
that's
is
funny.
there anything you wanted to say, anything more about what you do or what's going on, or are we going to be good with this? Because
I do have I know you were saying to ask you a question. I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Well, and I think you kind of answered it when you said you like your 45 minutes in the bathroom, but do you leave the house without makeup on?
Oh, all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but is there like a base layer? Like, is there I don't leave the house without mascara, or it's no makeup?
There's no set rule. It depends on where I'm going, to be totally honest. If I'm just whipping out to the grocery store at the bottom of the street because I need one thing for dinner, I'll just go. I will always wear lip gloss because I find that lip gloss, not for aesthetic reasons, but lip gloss is really moisturizing. So it's better than a chapstick. So it stays on longer. So that's just my rule for that. But it depends on where I'm going. If I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of errands, like maybe going to 4 or 5 things and be out for the afternoon, for 3 or 4 hours, I will do my mom on the run, which is what I call it, which is my typical everyday stuff. If I'm doing more networking things or customer-based things, I'll do like a full face. So my mom on the run is I always wear like a foundation or you guys could do like a tinted cream, but I always put something on my face and around my eyes. The bags under my eyes are ridiculously purple, and I have all kinds of crazy veins all over my eyelids, and they're all red. And in the mornings, if you've ever seen me do my videos in some of the accountability challenges, you look at me in the morning and you're like, that is not the same human being. And it is not the same human being. So I got lights, I got filters. I'm like, that is not the same person.
That's
I mean,
not true. You're beautiful in those videos.
Oh, I'm thinking I've never thought that.
Never.
So,
Yeah.
I got a little light ring that I put on my phone to light everything up so you don't see the shadows. But yeah, so I just always do something for around my eyes and my face. So I always wear a foundation, a thin foundation, a really easy light foundation. I just put that everywhere. And then I'm oily, so I always powder my face because I'm really super shiny. Then it will be mascara. And in the last couple of years, it has to be eyebrows because they're pretty much non-existent anymore. But it's always mascara. So it's foundation, which actually seals your face. You can have it with sunscreen, so it's actually good for you. Mascara. I always wear a lip gloss. And if you have like a bronzer or a blush, you just kind of put a little bit on your cheeks and you go. And like, that's it. That's my 5-minute get in, get out. That's my mom on the run. And that's what I do pretty much all the time, except... So the only thing I really don't do is I don't do any like eye work. Like here, I've got everything on.
Yeah.
I don't do all the eye work. This takes like another 7 to 10 minutes to do on top of all the other stuff.
Wow.
So that's my makeup routine. To do this face, I can do this in about 20 minutes because I can do it so often I don't even think of what I'm doing. But I've been doing it for like friggin' 30 years. I mean, if I can't do it in 20 minutes, there's a problem. I mean, there really is a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mom on the Run takes me maybe 5 or 6 minutes and then I'm done. That's it. So that's what I do with running out the door. That's how I roll. But yeah, I do go out without anything. When I'm home, when I call them home days, I don't even wear makeup. Most of the time, like I didn't have makeup on yesterday. I probably won't have makeup on tomorrow. I just don't do it because I can't be bothered anymore. And it's just me and my family. So what am I going to do that for?
Yeah.
So yeah, I won't go out to see people without really putting anything on unless I know you really super well and you're gonna be sitting in your Snuggies and I'm in my Snuggies, then I probably will be like a naked face. But other than that, no. I just like it. I like how I look. I like how it makes me feel.
There's something you always express it in terms of confidence, and I believe that totally. You know, there's like that look good, feel better. You know, that whole like there's that concept for sure. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, we're all shapes and sizes. There's nothing wrong with who we are. Our bodies move and they allow us to do what we want to do. So we have to be thankful of that. And yeah, you know, you do. Lavinia says, Andrea, I once heard something on YouTube where the lady said that women over 50 should stay away from powder. What would you say?
Oh,
that's what I say.
Nobody's over. What kind of question is that?
You know my rule for makeup and for hair? What makes you happy? That's what my rule is. I'm 53. My hair is halfway down my back. I got no eyebrows, so they're penciled in.
I know
I am shiny. I have blackheads. I have pimples again that I haven't had since I was 20. So you know what? No. Just whatever you decide to do it well.
yeah.
Do it well. Make sure you put it on properly. Make sure it's not just a half-assed job. Do it well. Whatever you do it well. So Lavinia is laughing. No. All that stuff is BS. It's garbage. It's just garbage. Same with design. Like this. No. Life is too short to be worried about what other people think and their opinions. It's your home. It's your face. Do what you like.
That's true.
If you're confident with how you live and confident with how you look and confident with bringing people into your living space, that's going to make everybody want to be around you because you're happy. Happy is what everybody has to do. Happy is what I don't look 50 now. That's because I'm not 50. I'm 53. I look better than 3 years ago.
That's funny.
And I'm also chubby, so I have my own filler. Like I don't have to put anything in, right? Because it's all in there.
Would you stop?
I agree. No, I feel that way too. I think that it helps with the wrinkles. Like people say, what do you do? Just look so young, eat a bag of chips. Like that's what you do, you know?
Or 3. I mean, whatever, you know, like I like ice cream. I mean, we're a full opportunity service here, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I used to sell Botox and filler appointments. I used to work for a cosmetic surgeon. And I used to do that. That was my job, was to have people come in all the time to do all that stuff.
Wow.
And yeah, these women starved themselves and they had surgeries and they had tummy tucks and they had all kinds of stuff. And they were coming in and getting fillers put in here and fillers put in here. And they're all looking like, oh, you look great. And I'm like, yeah, this is au naturel because I'm not emaciated and I don't starve myself into oblivion. And I don't care that I'm not a size 6. My doctor says I'm healthy. Heart's good, lungs good, liver's good. Yeah. Obviously, I'm built to be in this category, and I'm going to stay here, and that's fine.
Yeah, so. And embrace it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no to a little bit of Botox in certain areas, which I'm not going to point out on camera.
Right here. See that?
I don't know. Say no. I'm not. I neither deny or.
I got really good.
But
the squinties right here. They're called the 11s. Angela's dying. Angela's dying.
Oh, mine looks like bigger than 11.
They're called the 11s right there. 11. So you need three units of Botox in each one. That's it.
That's good to know.
But did you know if you get Botox here, if you get Botox above your eyebrows, now you got to find somebody really reputable. But if you get a little bit of Botox here, it actually does this. It lifts your eyes up.
Oh, I could use that.
Like, look at that, eh? Like, look at that. That's good, huh?
Yeah, I need my lashy
so just
brows.
like 2 millimeters. Just like 2 millimeters right here. Just lifts you up like 2 millimeters. You get a little bit here.
Creepy.
Well, not like way up here. You just want a little bit. You want the way back here. Okay. I'm gonna end with a really good joke. So Phyllis Diller said all those years ago, she was on a Johnny Carson show and he was commenting about her dimple and her chin, and she says, "Yeah, used to be my belly button."
Oh, I'll use that. I have the dimple chin. That's a good one.
Yeah, used to be my belly button. Yeah, so we'll leave it there. All right, it's been an hour. Faria, I'm laughing out loud. My mama's looking at me like I'm weird. That's what we wanted. We wanted to have a good time. This is I'm doing this instead of eating a chocolate bar. This is your 3 o'clock afternoon slump, and let's get some energy back, right?
That's a good one.
This is good.
Okay.
Yeah. I am so thankful you ladies took the time. You guys have been a riot. You are welcome to come back anytime you like. Talk about anything that you want. This has been great. I would love to keep doing this. I'm booked till the end of June, and I would love to keep doing this for as long as we can, because this to me is just so much fun. I miss everybody, and this is what I like to do to connect everyone. So yeah, if you want to come on for anything, you got anybody else who wants to join you, just let me know. Everybody's welcome. I would love to keep doing this. I'm so glad you ladies took the time. So I'll give you the final advice, and I'll let everybody go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.